Alright, y'all. So, John chapter 19, part 2. The nature of crucifixion meant victims could languish for hours or days before dying. Some died of loss of blood loss, exposure, thirst, infection, or attacks by scavenging animals. Most suffocated as their failing strength made it possible to lift up against the nails to properly breathe. To speed up the process, or as a perverse of mercy, executioners would sometimes shatter the victim's shin bones. This would make lifting to breathe impossible, bringing death in minutes. The governor allows this speedier process so the bodies can be cleared. This will avoid defiling the area on the religious holiday, Deuteronomy 21:23. Having been mutilated by scourging before being crucified, Jesus is already dead. Completing more Old Testament predictions. To confirm death, a soldier punctures his side with a spear, resulting in a gory flood of blood fluids. There is absolutely no question that Jesus is dead. John 19:31-37. Not every single member of Jerusalem religious council is hardened against Jesus. Two men, Joseph and Nicodemus, worked together to give Jesus a hasty burial. Joseph's own personal tomb, a luxurious stone crypt, is close by. Jesus was penniless in life. Matthew 8:20. Yet will be buried with the rich. Isaiah 50:53-9. Further adding to fulfillment of prophecy. John 19:38-42. The burial in a solid stone tomb covered by a door will factor into Jesus' miraculous resurrection. His enemies will petition to have the site guarded. They don't want anyone to steal the body and claim Jesus came back from the dead. Matthew 27:62-68. Ironically, those measures will only make it more obvious that the tomb's emptiness was a result of a true miracle. John 20:1-9. So let's get into the breakdown part 2. Yeah, my kids are up now. John chapter 19 recounts the final hours of Jesus' life, detailing his innocence by Pontius Pilate's physical and emotional suffering, crucifixion, and burial. The chapter's meaning lies in the themes of sacrifice, fulfillment of prophecy, and Jesus' kingship and suffering. Culminating his final words, "It is finished," before he dies and is laid to rest. Amen. So let's break this down a little bit more. Trial and sentencing. Despite finding no guilt in Jesus, Pilate sentenced him to be crucified under pressure from the crowd of Jewish leaders. This chapter describes the Roman soldiers' brutal mockery of Jesus, including whipping, placing a crown of thorns on his head, and dressing him in a purple robe. The soldiers cast lots for Jesus' garment, fulfilling a prophecy mentioned in Psalms. Crucifixion and death. Jesus carries his own cross to Golgotha, where he is crucified between two criminals. An inscription is placed on the cross, "Jesus of Nazareth, the King of Jews," which the religious leaders object to, but which points to his true identity. Jesus' side is pierced with a spear, fulfilling another prophecy, and he utters the final words, "It is finished," before he dies. Burial. The chapter concludes with the burial of Jesus in the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea with the help of Nicodemus. So some of the key things. Number 1, sacrifice. The suffering of Jesus is presented as a sacrifice to atone for the sins of the world. Number 2, fulfillment of prophecy. The event of the chapter are depicted as the fulfillment of Old Testament prophecies, such as the soldiers casting lots for his clothes and the piercing of his sides. And then number 3, kingship despite his suffering. The chapter emphasizes that Jesus' kingship through the mockery of the crown of thorns and the inscription on the cross. Alright, y'all, that is all I have for the full breakdown of John chapter 19. I'll see you guys later. Bye.